Alright, so what's up you guys, it's your boy X, and today we are back at it again with another video, and for today we are discussing Season 2 of the DLC characters that are coming down to Granblue Fantasy Versus. Now I'm gonna be honest, I've thought about this for a pretty long while. I've seen some of these DLC prediction videos already, and to me those sounded more like wish lists if anything. So I decided to put my bias aside and actually gave this a good thought for a hot minute and logically think about who could make it into the game. And why I'm telling you guys that I'm not putting in any bias into this list is because if I were to put any bias into this list, you would have to listen to me sitting here for hours discussing about why uses her fluffy ears and her fucking ass crack in her dress are a necessity to mankind, and why that will be the savior of Granblue even 2 decades later. But that's for another day. So with that in mind, you don't need to be really involved with Granblue to know that this game has plenty of characters to pick for DLCs. Like, Granblue is so big regarding character roster, it's absolute levels. So without nitpicking for hours on every character that ever made it into Granblue, I've actually decided to make this list based on a few points which I think are crucial points about deciding whether a character will be or might not be realistic to make it into this game. And these points are the following: their popularity, because popularity is a really big factor into this, because they need to make sales, right? They need to make money off these characters, and if they're gonna put in a random fucking character that no one knows, they're not gonna make any money. I also feel like if they made it into the anime or not could be a crucial part, because if we are gonna add in only characters that only the actual Granblue players know, then there might be a misconnection to the people that watch the anime and like, who the fuck is this guy or girl? So if we pick characters that are in the anime, the people who are anime only and are not invested into the whole mobile game, they could easily sit there and recognize the character and they're like, oh okay, this character is cool, I want to play with them, boom, there you go, $5. So putting in characters that have made it in the anime so far is really easy on the people that don't invest into the mobile game, because the mobile game is something that takes a lot of time, and I know because I play it, so I can't really expect everyone to do that as well, just to know a certain character. Then we look at 2 points: if they have anything related to them into the game, or if they have any variety that could offer a cool skill set or move set, whatever you want to call it, into this game. Because as you guys can see, the first few DLC characters are really interesting because they all have something unique to them. Now with those points in mind, just before I start, I do want to give a slight warning. I don't know if this warrants a warning or not, but I'm just gonna do it. There might be slight spoilers into this list, and not to the point like, oh yeah, this character died then and then. No, that's not the case. I'm just talking about why they will be cool, like what moveset they could offer, or how they look, or how they're related to the game to certain characters. So there's really no big spoilers involved at all, just talking about their moveset and whatever. But if you don't want to hear that, then the warning is out there. Now I did try to keep true to the first season of DLC regarding male and female characters, so just putting that out there. And with that said, let's get this ball rolling. And the first character to make it on the list of my predictions is Sandal. Now Sandal is a really popular character, and I seriously mean that. Like, he's been more popular than Belial for a while now, and that's quite a big thing, because Belial might be the biggest character as far as popularity goes into the Granblue franchise. And one of the reasons behind his popularity is because he's part of what makes the sky blue. And if you're sitting here like, yo, what is this man on about? What is what makes the sky blue? What makes the sky blue is a story event in a mobile game, and I dare say that it's the most popular story and also the best story that I've played so far. Granblue itself has been profiting off what makes the sky blue for so much now. Talk about the characters that have made it into that story event, talk about the music like Paradise Lost and the Lucius theme that have been out there. Like, it's the most popular song I think that Granblue has to offer, and I think if I open up this game right now, I think Belial's on the banner. Like, Belial has been dragging people's wallets the moment he released. Like, it's kind of nutty how what makes the sky blue has so much influence on the game itself. I think if I go to the banner section, yeah, there you go. So here we have Belial being on the banner, people spending bare money on this guy because he's fucking ridiculously OP in the game, but that's all besides the point. The point is that what makes the sky blue and its characters have been so popular, I don't see why Sandal as one of the most, if not the most popular character out of that whole story event, wouldn't make it in the game. And to support that claim, if you go to Jita's story event in the RPG or free quest, whatever it might be, I don't play the RPG, but if you go there, they talk about 000, which is the third part of this story event, and they talk about Lucifer and Sandal and all that stuff. So he already is heavily referenced in this game. If you go to the RPG gallery art, you'll see like 3 pieces of him as well. So I really can't comprehend that they wouldn't put this man in. And to top it all off, for the homie Sandy, he could have one of the most interesting, if not the most visually pleasing moveset into the game. So there is plenty of reason to add him in, and hardly any reason to not add him in at all. So that was the first one on my list. For the second on my list, we have ELISA. Now ELISA is a female draft character that has been introduced introduced to the anime. And like I said before, I think being added into the anime is a plus point in this case, so she is definitely lore friendly. You don't need to dig deep to find out about her, so that's already one thing going for it. And second is that ELISA is one of the trademark fighter characters in Granblue. Like, if you think about fighting characters in Granblue, you might think about Feather, you might think about Soris, but you will also think about ELISA. ELISA has that kicking based fighting style, which could also be a really unique style to add into the game. Like, we don't have a kicking character yet, and that could definitely be something interesting, and that's definitely been done before in fighting games, so why not put it out there? And also, this is a minor detail and you need to play the mobile game to know about this, but Granblue has had a Street Fighter collab. In that collab with Street Fighter, they had a little event going on, and in that event they made a roster of fighting characters, which were Jida out of my head, Ladifa, we had Soris in there, we had Feather in there, I think Amira, but also ELISA. So if you're wondering like, yo, okay, how is this relevant? You can kind of think about it. If they had a fighting game collab with Street Fighter and they put up Ladifa, which is into the game, they put up Soris, which made it into the game, and they put in ELISA, so they recognize her as a fighting character from their franchise, I don't see how they wouldn't think about her when putting it in an actual fighting game for Granblue Fantasy. And that was it for ELISA. Now we go over to the next character, which is none other than Vera. Now I know for a fact that if you just mean browsing like subreddits and stuff about Granblue Fantasy Versus and it's about DLC, I can guarantee you FARA has been brought up. She is stupid popular. She's also been introduced in the anime, so there we go again with the point like, okay, she's lore friendly because the anime onlys have known her for a while now. But let's actually dig a little bit deeper, because if we do dig a little bit deeper and look at the mobile game side of things, you would see that she's one of the most complete characters in Granblue Fantasy, and that's no kidding, because she is the only character that has a unit for every element in the game. And if you're sitting here like, why is this even close to relevant? The thing is, all those versions of a unit in game has all been different. She has not been the same FARA that just gets an element change. No, it's a different FARA altogether. So she has a lot of fucking lore going on for her. She has a fuck ton of skills and moves that could make up her moveset, meaning that she could be one of the most, if not the most interesting character on this game, period. And I'm not exaggerating this point at all. Like, she could fly, she could fucking shoot out lasers like she's part of Star Wars, she could be Primal Beast infused. She has so much going on for her. She could 100% be the most interesting character that this game will ever release. And for the last point, which in my humble opinion is the most important of all, she's my waifu. So she has all the rights to be in this game. She should already be in this game, matter of fact. But I'd say that I didn't put my bias into this video, so we're gonna have to stop it right there. Although for Vera specifically, I think I saw some word about Vera's VA confirming her being in the game already, but I thought that was like a mistranslation or whatever. Like, it wasn't concrete that she said, hey guys, I'm in the fucking game. Like, that's not what happened. I think she was talking about something specifically and it kind of got understood as, oh, okay, Vera will be coming in the game. I'm not too sure. You can probably search that up because it's been talked about for quite a while. Now we're gonna put FARA aside for a second and talk about the last two spots in this DLC roster for season 2. Now from here on out, I don't really have characters in mind that I'd say, okay, that's a no-brainer, she or he is definitely in. At this point it kind of becomes trickier and more theorizing about why this character or that character will be in. So these last two spots are a bit more iffy than the first three, but for the first three I put my left fucking lung on that. They will 100% be in. So for the fourth spot I actually have two characters, those characters being Cagliostro and Siegfried. And for the first point, they are insanely popular. I know I've been saying that a lot, but that's just a really crucial part to picking these characters. Second is that Cagliostro could actually be a true puppet character. And for those who don't know what a puppet character is, basically it's those that control something else. Like, look at Zoe and her dragons, right? That is something puppet related, but Zoe's not a complete puppet character yet, right? She has the dragons, wyvern, whatever you want to call them, set play stuff, but she's not completely dedicated to the cause, which I think Cagliostro with magic or sorcery, you know, like putting in spells and putting in the work, could definitely be a true puppet character that works. And having a magic character which takes some brains, because puppet characters are overall not easy to play, that will be really interesting to see make it onto the roster. And she's cute enough to make the sales. Like, I will put up like the summer art, you know what I mean? Like, it's not my type of girl or whatever you want to call it, but I think we can all see that this will definitely bring in some bucks if they do decide to go through with it. And for seconds we are going to talk about Siegfried for a little bit. Now for those who don't know Siegfried is a knight character as well. He's in the same group as Lance, and he's along with another really popular knight, which is Vayne. And for those wondering, Percival is not from the same kingdom as them, so he's not completely related like Lance is to Siegfried, but I think the story goes that they're training a lot or whatever. Like, Percival first of all joins in, they train a lot, and then because of that training they know each other well and they team up. I haven't really completely read into those stories yet. I personally only really care about the homie Percival, the absolute base god himself, but I think if you went on to his wiki, it says something like that, like okay, they trained together a lot, you know what I mean, and they kind of teamed up, and that's how the story unfolds, right? And like I said in the beginning of this video, I also would consider if these characters are already somewhat connected to the game, and in this case Siegfried's connection is that he's in the same group as Lance and he's a knight, and we already have Percival the base god, and we have Lance the K-pop warrior, you know what I mean, so we already are not new to knights. So we're gonna move past that first point already, and we're gonna take a look at the second point, which is he definitely has the fucking power to make sales, even if he's not known. Like, I already probably put up some art about Siegfried, and if not, I'll put it right up right now. You cannot tell me, and I'm a complete waifu warrior, right? But look at this man. You cannot tell me that this man does not look like an absolute fucking beast, okay? This man looks absolutely godly. Like, you could imagine if you're not a waifu warrior and you're looking for a cool guy outside of Percival, right? And you see the DLC pass and you see Belial, you're like, I'm kind of looking for something else. Siegfried is your guy because he looks like an absolute fucking beast, so they'll definitely pick him if he's available. As a matter of fact, he's just like FARA. He's been named plenty of times already. You can go up to the GBVS Twitter account, right? You'll see plenty of people, and I mean plenty, like a fuck ton back for Siegfried, so I don't think Siegfried is that odd of a choice to make it into the DLC. Then we came at the last character of this list, or extra option or extra slot that we have been blessed with, and I think that spot will go out to ELISA. Now for starters, we're gonna have to put some respect on this character because she's absolutely fucking gorgeous, but I don't need to explain it to you. So besides the fact that she's an absolute beauty, we can also talk about the fact that she does have a unique playstyle to bring to the table, which in her case will be a gun character. Plus overall, I'm gonna let you into a secret. People who have been playing this mobile game, they do not think Rackham is interesting by any means, right? So I'm gonna just put that out there. So I definitely think if we're gonna have a gun character, it's gonna be ELISA. So besides that, she does already have a link to this game because she's in the same group as Fazagra and Zeta, which are the society. So she's already in the society, they already know each other, and the society is already in Granblue, so I don't think it's too wild to think they will add in another character of the society since, hey, it's already in there. And then we come back to the point of popularity. You can go and search off some popularity polls of the characters of Granblue Fantasy. You'll see on the male side, you know what I mean, Belial, Sandal, which I already stated before as being the first character, which I think will be in. And then if you look at the female side of things, you'll see Gagliostro, you know what I mean, you'll see Vera, but you'll definitely see ELISA. And I think for the recent poll, she made it into the top 5 or something like top 7 out of the top 10, which is of course really crazy considering how much characters Granblue has, so that definitely does say something. So let's quickly summarize all these points on why I think ELISA actually could make it into the game, right? So first of all, she's insanely popular. She's always top 10 amongst the female characters, and if you check out how many female characters or waifus Granblue actually has, that is everything with a little feat. So popularity, we got that on deck, right? Second is that she could definitely be an interesting character. Why? Because she's a gun character and we haven't seen any gun characters yet, and we don't have that many gun characters to begin with, though she could definitely be really interesting, so we also have that on deck. Then third is she is already part of the society group, so she already has that link. And at last, she is a waifu. Waifus don't need a story, waifu don't need no background, waifu makes sales, and that is what Xseed wants. So there it is. That is why I think ELISA is a perfect fit for that last slot. And I know this sounds like a joking point, or at least I make it sound jokingly, but actually it's pretty fucking serious because waifus will sell. They don't really need a big story. I mean, look at Narmaya. You know, 90% of the people that played GBVS didn't even know about Narmaya. Then all of Twitter knew about Narmaya, and everyone is still running around with Narmaya lobby characters. Why? Because she is a nice waifu. So if we're gonna put in a big titty Aaron with some fluffy fucking ears screaming at you and shit and shooting guns, bro, people will be sold in an instant. So there you go, there you have it. ELISA will be a good fit for that last slot. So that was it as far as my prediction goes on season 2. Now I do believe that at least 3 of those characters that I listed today, which are Sandal, ELISA, and FARA, I 100% believe that those characters will make it into the game without a doubt. But let me know in the comment section below which characters you believe are definitely coming in. I'm interested to hear y'all opinions, so let me know in the comments down below. And that was it for today, guys. So that was it. It was your boy, it's ELISA. Stay happy, stay blessed, and I'm out. Peace.